can't save the lost the way Jesus did. There's only a certain amount of time left. So use the role and use your testimony to reach out to the lost. There's nothing more important than your eternal salvation.
But hey, speaking of T.D. Jakes,
not that I'm nosy.
Let me share with. I've received some emails about the T.D. Jakes and the elephant business. This was a posting by Brian Loritz. I don't know who the fellow is, but he was one of the participants at the Elephant Room. He said, I found Bishop T.D. Jakes to be incredibly humble. This is the man that's been on the cover of Time magazine, and yet he steps into the firestorm. I got to tell you, I have heard referenced that T.D. Jakes has been on magazine. I think Mark Driscoll said it. James McDonald said it. Yeah, he's been on Time magazine. You'll have to forgive me for not being in awe. He didn't have to be there. Now, John sent that in to me, and he said, it doesn't take a whole lot of courage or humility to be invited to play in the T-ball game. True that. Trevin Wax was blogging about the Elephant Room Conference. He basically, the first day that he was there, he basically blogged about what they were saying. And then yesterday he released what I thought was a very thoughtful presentation on what he saw as the shortcomings of the Elephant Room 2 conference. Now, you may or may not disagree with him. Trevin said he believed that the testimony of T.D. Jakes was acceptable to him. Okay? Well, we talked about that earlier. You'll have to make that decision for yourself. I think that different Christians are going to come to different takes on that deal. At any rate, he said, it discourages me to think of David Platt at Elephant Room getting drilled for urging radical sacrifice, while T.D. Jakes' teaching on health and wealth was never even brought up.
Pastors in these massive homes and preaching a prosperity gospel where Jesus wants you wealthy. It's sickening.
The blessing is yours. The business is yours.
That is a distortion of the gospel that was unheard of through the entire history of the church.
Your blessing is within your reach. God said everything you can reach, you can have.
Prosperity theology teaches that the more holy you are, the more wealth you'll accrue.
There is no reason for you to hemorrhage financially, particularly if you're a tither.
This has now been exported to the second and third world. It's false teaching.
If you think you're going down, you're going to go where you're thinking.
Prosperity theology is a theology of not loving God, but using God to get your real God, which is wealth.
And if you will sow what you got left, God said, I'll give you back whatever it was.
It's sickening.
God says, I'm interested in bringing you to a place that you stop losing everything I'm giving you.
Prosperity theology is wrong.
In a manger, wrapped in rags, and there are 3 camels full of gold coming his way.
It's sickening.
Your situation may look like a barn. You may not have nothing to lay on, but hey, you may be wrapped in swaddling clothes, but I came here to tell you the camels are coming.
That is a distortion of the gospel that was unheard of.
You can have it. Reach out and grab it.
That is a distortion of the gospel.
It's a Ponzi scheme where we use God to get money, which means our ultimate goal is to worship money.
The camels are coming. Don't die. Don't quit. The thing you've been needing, the thing you've been waiting on is coming your way.
It is not about religious performance so that we could get wealth and He would bless us. We could get comfort and our life would be easy.
If you sow money, you're going to reap money.
That we would get power and we would be able to control our own destinies.
God said if you want more, you can have more.
But in the last 50 years, it is front and center stage in the Western world.
If you reach, God will open up the windows of heaven.
Only here where we have no tolerance for truth and embrace the messages that bless our hearts, preach the word in season and out of season. The time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, but wanting to have their ears tickled, they will accumulate teachers for themselves and will turn their ears away from the truth and be turned aside to myths. We're in that time, people.
We sure are, aren't we? Bart asks a good question. Now that Mark Driscoll and James McDonald have deemed T.D. Jakes to be orthodox, I wonder if they'll be endorsing his products and selling his books inside of their church bookstores. I wonder if T.D. Jakes will be preaching from their pulpits. Wouldn't that be something?
Preaching a prosperity gospel where Jesus wants you wealthy. It's sickening.
Hour 1.